time, several youths from across the country have maintained that registration is the only route to a free and fair electoral process. InfoHub spoke to a few persons, some of whom were protesting outside of GECOM, to hear what they had to say.
17-year-old O'Keefe Lewis said it is important for him to be able to become registered and cast his ballot whenever the next elections are called.
I'll soon be turning 18 and I want to vote.
According to these youths, it is pivotal to exercise their democratic and constitutional rights and to be part of the decision-making process.
Persons are dead, some persons are not living here. Persons like myself, I have friends who are not registered. A youth voice. They say youths are the future of the country, youths are the future, but they're not giving us a free and fair election. They're not going through registration. How are they going to vote? How are they going to be the future if they didn't have a say?
Elections in any country should be free and fair, especially with Guyana now going into the oil industry. I don't think we would want to host an election without a credible list.
Any election should be free and fair, no matter where.
I think the house-to-house registration would enable these persons to now be able to cast their vote. It will not deny them the right. So I think it's a good initiative in giving them that opportunity and not denying the party also that they would vote for these amount of votes.
I believe that young people must have a say in what they want their government to do. As a young person, I'd also want to help dictate what happens in government because eventually that will affect me as a young person. So I must advocate for young people and I believe they deserve that chance to vote.
And I don't think you should carry on an election without a new list and allowing young people to vote.
A free and fair election would mean that we have our registration done. There's too many youths who are not registered, who don't have ID cards and will be excluded from the voters list.
In our context right now, a fair election would mean, obviously, a list that is not expired, one that represents and shows the persons who are actually living here, the persons who are eligible, the persons who are not dead on a list.
If we're going to say fair and free elections, then it means that we need to give our youths that chance to exercise their rights as a citizen to vote, especially when they reach the age of 18.
Elections must be free and fair. That beyond it's a constitutional right, it is only humanly decent to say that it be free. All persons must be included. There must be no excludability, and as in fair, all persons who qualify to partake in the elections must be given every opportunity to do so.
And you will have a case where a small percentage of the population is voting while all the population is being affected by those votes. And people are just going to start migrating like before. We're going to have this severe brain drain like what we were having before, and it just won't work out. I think the best move is for the house-to-house registration to happen.
The young persons also spoke on the matter of first-time eligible voters not being allowed to vote because they are excluded from the list.
Well, that would be against the Constitution if thousands of persons are blocked from voting. I would definitely 100% support a new registration list to ensure that credible and fair and free elections are held.
All those persons who are talking about following the Constitution, following the rule of law, the decisions, these things have to be taken into consideration because our Constitution as well says that when a list is expired, you need to have a new one. So therefore, house-to-house registration is a necessity.
That would definitely be a tragedy. Why? Because almost every election in this country has been touted to be in the name of our youths, in the name of Guyana's future. And to partake in an election, to have an election for the future, for your young people, but to exclude young people would definitely be a travesty and something that we cannot allow.
We have seen over 2011, 2015, how young people have impacted what is happening in this country because we believe that we should vote for things that make sense and not because of what color of your skin. We vote because we need X, we need Y, and it is a must. And hence, for you to disenfranchise such a large population, then you're heading for trouble.
They would continually say that the youths are the future. And if you're saying that the youths are the future and you're not giving the youths the opportunity to vote, then you are contradicting yourself.
Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.